Hello and welcome everybody to another edition of the Buy Round Interview Show. Today we're joined by a returning guest, a good friend of mine, Gareth Widdop, here in Australia. How are we going, Gaz?
Good, mate. It's good to see you, Stone Cold. Off the top rope. Yeah, it's good to be back, Jammer.
Why are you starting with that?
Because
why are you starting on the offence?
It's not offence. I just want to say I think you had a great performance. It's good to see you get back in the ring, and hopefully you get back in there again. I'll come watch you. Maybe we could be tag team champs.
Maybe, Gaz. That was it was quite the experience. And you know what? I probably deserve getting a bit of shit put on me because if you did it, I would not stop.
Exactly my point. It was. I remember being back home and Big Latsy sent me it, and I genuinely thought someone your head had been photoshopped. And on this body, and I'd seen a British Bulldog come out fired up, so it was certainly entertaining. But I bet it was good fun. I'd love to come down and watch next time.
I don't know if there is going to be a next time. I'm sure Jam will do it again. We'll have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see. It was bizarre, and I think it made it worse. Well, sorry, what? One of the hardest things was knowing people were watching. And I knew people were out there just begging, waiting for me to fuck up. And like, slip off the rope, like, just do something, like, because they were one of the things they said, like, when new people come into it, like, when they get into the ring, they trip. And I think it happened on the night before. Like, and I know it sounds quite trivial, but like, obviously, you get a bit excited and your feet get caught entering, like if you get tagged in. And then I was like, if that happens to me, I'll never live that down.
Was it tiring?
I wouldn't say tiring. I'd say it was like, just like anything a bit, because it was new, but I sort of was pretty familiar with what I was going to be doing.
Yeah.
And then, just like, you know, you do something new and the emotional energy of it drains you. But no, it was...
Your new career could be acting. Get yourself on Coronation Street, pal.
Well, I did the acting for Plum. You've not seen that yet, have you?
No, what is it?
I was in like a drama for one scene.
You're taking piss?
I'm being 100 dead set serious.
I have to get this up. How come I haven't fucking known about this?
Because I've not shared it with you for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I'll be finding that.
I've got the footage, mate. Don't worry. I did. I didn't go looking for it. That came to me. I'm not going down that path of some former footballers that
punk dogging it. Good
luck. Our audience know what I'm up to, Gaz. What about you? Are you officially done and dusted, retired now?
Yeah, look, I finished up at Halifax this year, which was an experience. It was something that I suppose I'd always sort of had in the back of my mind of pulling the Halifax jersey on. Look, I was a lad from Halifax. They did a lot for me as a young kid growing up, and an opportunity came around at the start of the season, and I thought, you know what, it'd be a nice way just to finish off and hopefully help the town. It was a tough year for many reasons, but like I said, I enjoyed it. I think there were about 10, 11 lads from Halifax who I used to play against, so it was good for the town. But yeah, I think this body's had it too much hammer over the last couple of years, so the boots are on the peg.
So for the Australian-based listeners that don't know, Halifax play in the division below the Super League. Yeah. So it's semi-professional.
Yeah. So there's a couple of teams in there who are obviously full-time. The big clubs with obviously lots of money. So at Halifax, most of the lads, well, probably 50% of them work and obviously play on a weekend. So, look, I take my hat off to the fellas. They're up at, crack of dawn in the morning, off labouring, doing whatever sort of jobs they're doing, and then training twice a week and then playing on a Sunday. Some of these lads have done it for 10, 12 years. So I've got a lot of respect and how hard it is for those guys turning up each and every Sunday and playing. So, like I said, it was an eye-opener to see sort of what they go through.
What's it like for you playing in that competition? A lad that's won a premiership over here with the Melbourne Storm, being the best 5'8" in the world for a number of seasons to go and play at that level, where I guess it's not like you've gone and played bush football, which I know a lot of former players do, and it's probably different to that in the terms that you've got some lads here that actually are aspiring to make it, and also I'm assuming a big target on your back as well, because you've been a superstar of the game.
Yeah, let's say I got hammered every game, but it was a good
by
the opposition,
players or fans or both.
No, players a bit of both. Always get called an Aussie wanker all the time, get back to us and all the rest of it. But it were all fun and games. But yeah, I suppose I did have a little bit of a target on my back, but that's all part and parcel of it. For me, it was just going out and experience putting on that jersey for Halifax more than anything, and being able to play in front of my friends and families, for one last time. And it was pretty special. Like, I had my parents come over throughout the year to come and watch my last couple of games, and it was a good experience. And like I said, I enjoyed it for the period I was there.
And then, so you finish up, you finish playing. That's completely it now. Like, in terms, you're not going to go around again.
No, that'll be it now. Yeah. I'd like to stay in the game in some capacity. You know what it's like when you sort of finish up football. You sort of not sure what path to sort of to go down and take. It's all I've known for a long period of time now. So certainly, I'd like to stay in the game. I've got another couple of things sort of away from the game that I've been involved in, which is obviously really good, and half the reason I'm back here, and some good opportunities. With some organisation. So, I've got a bits and bobs going on over the next couple of months, which, I'm really excited for. Are
you allowed to tell us a little bit about them, or are they in secret? Or?
No. Yeah, of course I can. So a couple of things. I said I've hung the boots up. I have hung the boots, but I got invited to a group called World 100 Legends. All ex-rugby union players, majority, who've played at the highest level. Nonu, Serge Betts, and all these big sort of named players. To go over to Dubai for a group called Al Noor, which is a charity for disadvantaged kids over in Dubai, in the UAE. So, I jumped at that opportunity. So I head over there at the end of November. All proceeds go to the charity, and it's a big organisation. They do some good things. So obviously I'll be playing over there.
So it's for the Dubai Sevens tournament.
Yeah, I'll be on the same weekend over there. So there's lots happening. So it'll be a good weekend. But I need to lose a bit of timber first before I'm running around over there.
So it's a sevens tournament, but the idea is it a bit of fundraising, and for you a little bit of networking. As well.
There's a lot of corporate events going on, a lot of networking with the things I'm obviously doing over here in Australia, which I'll fill you in a second. Gives me a good opportunity to do that, but the lads have won it the last 2 years in a row, so they take it serious.
So who are they actually playing against?
It's just other made up teams.
So it's like an invitational
sort of thing.
Right, okay,
yeah. But it's obviously on the same weekend, and Henry Paul will be there. He's there. Sorry, he's over there. So there's a lot of players who've been around and know the game, doing good things over there. So I'm looking forward to it. That's why I've been over here. Try like I said, try get fit.
You spend a lot of time in Dubai, don't you?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. It's good. Well, as you know, living over here, travelling over to the UK on tour. We always used to fly with Emirates, so we spent a lot of time there. I had a mate who moved there back, I think it was 2016 from Halifax. So why don't you nip in for a couple of days? I just sort of never really fancied it.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's an unbelievable place, a beautiful place to visit, and I've made some good mates and connections over there, and that's the reason I sort of tend to head over there.
Would you ever live there?
Yeah, I reckon I could. I reckon I could have a year out there. There's so many opportunities out there, and obviously a great lifestyle, and I think I'd give it a crack. I wouldn't say I could live there forever, but it'd be something that it'd be quite interesting to do.
Yeah, I've like a mate of a mate who I know quite well. He set up a recruitment firm over there, and he swears by it.
Yeah.
But he's probably looking at it as probably not forever. Because it can be quite extreme, but there's obviously a lot of benefits for business owners and employees over there in terms of they want to bring the best and brightest over. That's their tactic. But basically you reward that with minimal tax.
Yeah, and that's half the reason they go. Obviously, minimal tax, the opportunities. They've got shitload of money over there. You know, it's in terms of the UK, it's only a 6-hour flight. It's
Same time zone as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
pretty much, give or take an hour.
Yeah, a couple of hours. So we're not talking 24 hours away. Flights are cheap. So, you know, the last year I've been back in England, I've had 2 or 3 mates who have gone for a bit of a holiday. An opportunity's come up. One's in real estate, recruitment, and they're absolutely loving life. So, but I don't think it is forever, like you said. But I think it's a good stepping stone to, the opportunities, like I said before, and setting yourself up.
So, flip side, you're here in Australia. What's the sort of line of what industry line of work are you looking at?
Yeah, so obviously over the last sort of 12, 18 months, obviously when you know you're sort of coming out of football.
How horrible is it?
It's terrible.
That anxiety of like, hang on a minute. Like,
shit, what am I going to do?
Right. I've got 12 months left.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
like,
it's a tough one. And like you said, when we've played football as all life, it's what we know, and it's almost going into the unknown a little bit. So yeah, it's been pretty tough. But within saying that, obviously our good mate Trent Merrin, he obviously retired a couple of years before myself. Set up a company called Freeze Yourself. Ultimately, it's a cold water therapy. Obviously, we've been exposed to it our whole careers. It's something that you love doing.
I actually didn't mind the ice bath. I never was like, I liked them. I didn't complain about them.
You sure? You know, you complained all the time, pal.
Well, you've got to, you put on a show.
Exactly.
For people, you know, you put on a show.
Yeah, so like I said, we've been in contact. Obviously, we spent a lot of time together playing, and it was more the ice baths to become a lifestyle. Like I said before, we've all done it for recovery purposes on an individual level. For myself personally, I've had a lot of issues off the field, personal life to deal with, and I found the cold water therapy a challenge. Find a bit of a purpose. You know, when you're a footballer, you're challenged every single day, and you've got to get up at a certain time and do this. You know where you've got to be. And for myself, I've probably gone down the wrong path a couple of times when I've been struggling with my personal things away from the game. So it was something I sort of implemented into our lives. You know, who wants to get up in the morning and at 6 o'clock and do a ice bath? It's and it's freezing cold. It's a challenge. So for me, and for a lot of other people, it was something that I knew I was accountable for. I knew I had to get up and do it to help start my day in a positive mindset. You know, talk about being comfortable, being uncomfortable. And it's something that's really sort of helped me, you know, when I've been struggling a little bit, to start my days in a positive mindset. So yeah, Freeze Yourself is, you know, cold water therapy, ice baths essentially, but we want to be more than that. We want it to become a lifestyle, so it's not just about, for the recovery side, you know, going into the corporate world and, you know, doing talks of resilience, accountability, all the rest of it. So it's not just about, like I said, jumping in a cold tub for recovery. There's so many different avenues we want to go down.
Is that a little bit about, you know, when we talk about building that resilience piece, forcing yourself to voluntarily do difficult things and things that you actually, you don't want to do?
Yeah.
Like you wake up in the morning and, you know, easy thing is just make yourself a coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
Make yourself a tea. You know, get the easy breakfast options, whatever it may be. But that first thing, get up, go and sit in a, you know, what?
Do it about
9.
We do it 3 degrees.
3 degrees.
Obviously it goes 3 all the way up, but you know, you can set them to sort of what you want. But
so you're sitting there 3 degrees for a certain time period, and in terms of what that, not just the focus point, but blocking out that uncomfortable thing and learning how to breathe through that. Is that part of the...
Yeah, obviously the breath work and the breathing is a massive one, and obviously I'm still learning on it, but yeah, like you said, who wants to get up in the morning and sort of do it? You can take the easy option, and especially when you know you got things going on in your life. And like I said, it's something that's certainly helped me, especially over the last couple of months, to get up and do something that you don't want to do and be challenged, you know, especially as footballers, we've been challenged as whole life on a daily basis. So it's tough, but yeah, the breath work comes into it. That's a massive thing. And it obviously getting in that ice bath, it sort of takes everything away. You've got to be focused in the moment to be able to get through that 2 minutes, say you do. So it's just a focus to be accountable, do your breath work while you're doing it, you know, to start the day in a positive more mindset than just waking up having a bit of an easy option.
Because as well, am I right in thinking now the new protocols of NRL training standards, you're going to actually, it's going to be mandatory that there's a cold, in terms of like, but if the potential for heat stroke to strike with the NRL players, that they need something like an ice bath on site at all times.
As I'm aware, you know, I've done a lot of research. They've done a lot of research in it, and a protocol to come out is the science behind it, to minimise, like you said, the heat stroke, etc. Is, you know, to have a cold plunge. You know, I think in the past it's been, you know, bags of ice on your groins, on your head. But I do know, I think it started, to be honest, I think it started at the Olympics, and it's obviously filtering down through a lot of sports. So yeah, cold plunging, from the science behind it, is, you know, what each and every club's gonna need to have on site. You know, like a lot of teams, maybe train away from their ground. You know, these ice baths are very easy to maintain and portable. So yeah, that's something that I think they're looking to do.
And can the general public buy them, or is it more you're looking to go into to corporates? What's the go with it?
Everybody can. You know, we've got the website freeseyourself.com.au. You can go online and purchase them. You know, we've added a customised link on there now, so people can. You could maybe get one and put your melon on it if you want. So
Well, idea that.
Yeah, so
I actually start every day by going for an outdoor shower.
Yeah, so it's a similar. It's a similar,
basically doing this.
It's similar. Same thing. These people do different sort of things, so it's no different to you having a cold shower to jumping in a tub. And but yeah, like I said, so the general public, you know, sporting, corporate, whoever it may be, is where we're wanting to get into. And like I said before, it's not just about jumping in for the cold plunge for the crud of it. It's the mental well-being behind, you know, cold water therapy, basically.
Yeah, and it does build a level of ability to push through difficult things, because difficult things are going to come your way. But when you're naturally choosing to do those difficult things, it makes those difficult things that you can't control fractionally more easier to overcome.
Yeah, and that's exactly the reason why people get into it, and myself do it. You with Trent, and obviously Zac Lomax is part of it, who's currently still playing. So it is challenging yourself every day, doing something that you don't want to do, being comfortable, being uncomfortable. And hopefully when things do come your way, because we can't control everything, like you said, we're better equipped to handle with certain situations which are obviously negative to our lives. And
just even that, I know some of the research with the ice baths is breathing through it, and when the difficult moments come, just learning to breathe through it, it can actually, you know, stop things like panic attacks happening, because
definitely,
you get hit with that news. It's like, well, hang on, just got to center myself here and just stay calm, stay relaxed, and you do that through breath work.
Yeah, the breath work's a massive part of it. Like you said, not just only for jumping in an ice bath, because, you know, you see people jump in and everyone starts panicking, and the breath work is, you know, if you watch Wim Hof, there's so many, you know, breath works out there, but it's super important. Like you said, not just in an ice bath. Someone could be sat at home having a panic attack, struggling, whatever. You know, the breath work and breathing is something that certainly helps, you know, calm me down.
Mate, you mentioned a guy there who's part of the team, Zac Lomax. Mate, so he was coming through at the Dragons when we were there. Are you surprised by just how good of a player he's become?
I wouldn't say surprised. No, I think, you know, Laurie's a young kid, came into, you know, obviously the Dragons, you know, the media and everyone were talking is the next best thing, and I can see these days a lot of young kids coming through. It can probably get to them a little bit without doing the hard work first and just thinking things were going to happen. You But in saying that, though, he was a big, strong kid. He does work extremely hard. I've still got him covered in goal kicking, like. But, he does work extremely hard. It's happened pretty quick for him going to New South Wales, into Australia. I'd seen him the other day. He's still like a little kid, like, but he's done really well. I'm proud of what he's done. Look, we spent a lot of time with him, didn't we, down at the Dragons, and it's good to see him doing good things. Yeah,
I mean, for me, I've been blown away by him this year to move positions to the wing, and mate, when he was coming through, I probably didn't appreciate just how young he was.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't either. He was super young, 18-year-old kid.
Yeah, but he was mature beyond his years, so you expected a little bit more from him. And obviously, he dipped in and out to that maturity level, and he was almost a little bit lost when he was there, in terms of like, he'd been earmarked to play fullback, and there was him and Dufty, and then Corey Norman came, and then he sort of found a bit of a home in the centres, and he was always chopping and changing, didn't really know who he wanted to, like, the type of person or position, and then he finds this place on the wing. It's like,
I think, like you said, he was in and out, wanted to play a bit of fullback, then centre, and to be honest, you have to take your hat off to him. He obviously got moved to the wing, probably, as you're aware, probably didn't want to go out to the Sting, but what he's done by going out there and playing with his actions and doing what's best for the team is incredible. And I think he's heavily involved in the game on the wing. He can jump, he can catch, and like I said, it's amazing what he's done out there, and it'll be interesting to see if he stays on the Sting or not.
Well, mate, for me, I reckon it's an example of a young player that just needs a simple role.
Yeah, correct.
And just be given simple instruction, mate. You're playing here, I just want you to compete. Because he's very on those high kicks.
He's down there every time.
He's competitive on them. He's got a bit of a license to roam, come in field, go and chase the kicks. Pretty simple thing to do. Not, when he was sort of being trained at fullback, like,
it's a tough position.
It's a tough position to learn, almost learn how to play. He wasn't, and I don't think he was a natural fullback coming through. No. And it was a bit information overload. You've got to organise the defensive line. Like, he's dealing with middles that, like, don't listen, and they're never going to be, never going to take the blame. It's like, why are you at this side of the ruck? Lowy didn't tell me. That's a bit of a joke, but when you're in the washing machine, you sort of sometimes need to be dragged.
Yeah, it's where to go.
Him being young, and it probably took away from his natural game of just simple instruction, go and compete. Wayne Bennett, 2 flags. What do you do? What's it look like when you're playing well in attack? Well, I'm competing and I go after the ball.
Yeah, I think that you've just hit the nail on the head there. The simple role that he's been given is what's allowed him to go on. Like, he's a big, strong thing. He carries the ball, he's fit, and I think he's really found his home there. And I think he's got a long career, especially on the rep level. If he continues to play like that, because obviously he's got his goal kicking in the back pocket as well, so it's going to be a huge asset to obviously New South Wales and the Aussies moving forward.
Yeah, I guess you experienced that positional switch between 1 and 6. For him, I think it's probably easier to play centre, and it's hard to play on the wing. I mean, when people often say, like, why would you not just play? You're playing so well. It's like, because it's actually pretty hard to play on the the old wing. You're for the last kid on the wing, but now it's actually become a difficult position to play. And I think for me, centre is a lot of thinking, but it's actually not too, with all due respect to the centres out there, it's not as physically demanding on the body as playing on the wing.
Now look, at the wing, you've got a drop back tackle 4 or 5, kick return, then you're chasing down for kicks. You're constantly in the game. Obviously, centres, got to probably make a lot more like defensive decisions, etc. But sometimes it's sort of tough out there if the game's not going your way. You're not really heavily involved in the game. So, like I said, I think it'll be tough for him to move from that position now. Obviously, I know he's going to para. It'll be interesting to see what Rousey and that do.
Did you know Rousey from?
Yeah, I played with him. Yeah.
Did you play with him?
Yeah, we're down at Melbourne when he did his grand final, 2011-12, wasn't it?
Was he still?
Yeah.
I thought he moved to Catalan.
He did his hammy. He did his hammy. I was 2012 he did his hammy, didn't he? And he missed out on the grand final.
Did he?
Yeah, big buck.
I thought he was playing in Catalan then, because I'm sure I played against him for Catalans.
Yeah, but he had come back, hadn't he?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, because I know I had at least I can't remember if it was 2011 because he'd come back, or it was 12. But I'm pretty sure it was 2012 because I had still to this day. I remember. I'm pretty sure he did his hammy the week or 2 weeks leading up to the grand final. That's why he never played in the final. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. But Raza were definitely at Melbourne, yeah. Because I remember when I'd signed for the Dragons, I'd sort of gone up and met Raza because he's from down that way, down Wollongong, just to get, where's the best place to live sort of thing. So he was definitely there for a couple of years.
Yeah. How do you reckon he'll go as a coach?
I think he'll be good. Obviously, he's had a lot of experience. He's been down in, Melbourne assistant for many years, then went to the Roosters, I think.
Yeah.
So he's been around a lot of good...
I think he's in England Rugby Union as well.
Yeah, I think he did go over there, actually, yeah. So he's been around a lot of good organisations. So I think he'll have the right culture and etc. But, yeah, like I said, obviously, Para struggled this year. It's going to have to take a lot to turn him around, losing a couple of players. But... yeah, I think he's got the right mindset to be a head coach.
Yeah. Mate, when you did come to the Dragons, obviously you achieved a lot there, club captain. Do you still have many ties at the Dragons? Do you have much connection with the football club at all?
Yeah, I was down there during the week. Obviously, little kit man Mickey, he's a legend. I've always kept in contact with little Mickey. But I've got a couple of... to be honest, a lot of the staff now actually went down the way. I didn't really have to move on. Obviously, Flano's come in. In terms of players as well, to be honest, they've sort of moved on.
Yeah.
Blocker's still there, obviously Bomber's down there. But when I come back, it's nice to spend 7-8 years down there. I usually go in and see my fingers have been knackered, so he sorted me out last week for a scan. Like Lawsaw's down there, so it's just nice to come back and have a walk around the stadium. So I spent a lot of time with the kids, so... yeah, it's good just to go down and see little Mickey, have a coffee and just have a chat, really. Yeah.
Well, how do you sort of reflect on your time there? Obviously, I know we've done the big interview in the past, but now with a little bit more time passing, how do you sort of look back at that era, that period of your life?
Probably easier to take in now. Probably at first, it's quite daunting and your head's all over the shop. It's hard to sort of process, but now I go down there with a smile on my face and walk in there and go, geez, I had some good memories here. Yeah, like I said, I was down there, been down there twice this week, and I just think, there's pictures of us on the wall and things like that, and I look back on a fond time of my life, and we had some cracking times down there, and I just, take it all in, and it's quite a happy place to be honest. So, from the first time, it was hard to probably process, but now I actually go in and go, we did some good things for this club, and I really enjoyed my time here.
Would you see yourself as like a Dragons supporter? Do you watch much NRL back home, back in England?
Yeah, look, obviously, because, Melbourne was unbelievable as a young kid coming in, having a shitload of success, and they gave me the grounding and allowed me to move on and have a wonderful career. So, obviously, I still want them to do really well. Dragons feels more like a home just for the fact of I was a little bit older, I became the captain. 3 kids were pretty much born and raised there, so that feels a bit more like home, and I keep an eye on it. I wouldn't say I watch too much football now, but I do keep an eye on it, and obviously I always want them to do well. So, but yeah, there's obviously some more big changes happening down there at the minute.
Obviously, I know this. It's a whole new world for you to be in, and you've got these things starting to fire up in terms of the business. Would coaching appeal?
Yeah, like I said at the start, I'd like to stay in the game because I think I've got a lot to offer, and it's something I've known since I was a young kid, just like yourself. So being in that football environment to a certain extent, I think it's something I'd like to do. I don't know. Getting heavily involved in the coaching. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there with coaching. But like I said, at the minute, I'm sort of at a stage where I've just sort of finished up sort of playing, what avenue do I want to take, and I'm just sort of feeling for what's about, what I really want to do. I think sometimes you can just jump straight into something which is probably not the best for your best interest.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm going to take decisions I make very seriously, because first and foremost you need to be right in yourself first before you go and make any sort of rash decisions.
Yeah, I guess that's it, right? If you jump into a coaching role, you're very limited in what you can do outside of the game, and also outside 10 months of the year. Like you are fixed. You cannot just go to Dubai or come back here to Australia, or if you're here in Australia, you can't just go to England. It can be quite limiting in terms of like your ability to be flexible. Yeah,
and I think that's the biggest thing, obviously, just coming out of it, to jump straight back into it. Like I said, we've done it for 15, 20 years. You're locked in for 10 months of the year. There's no flexibility whatsoever. So, and especially with what I'm involved in at the minute, it allows me to, like I said, I can, if this trip in Dubai for November, I won't be able to obviously attend, whereas being a bit flexible at the minute allows me to do that, which hopefully open a couple of doors. And, if I want to return to Australia at some point next year for a holiday, I can come back over. So, but I wouldn't rule it out. I think just have a year away just to figure it out, and maybe come back in some capacity at some point.
Do you think? I know I asked you there about living in Dubai. Do you think? Obviously, you grew up in England. You spent most of your adult life here, but then go back to England. Where do you think you'll live? Where do you think you'll make a I guess a permanent home kind of thing, or is it? Are you not looking at it like that?
Yeah, no, not obviously at this stage. Obviously, like you said, I grew up in England but lived all my adult life here. I'll be back in the UK for the foreseeable. I'll be in the UK. So got the family over there. So, eventually down the line, I won't have a rule coming back to Australia. Like I said, I'm just finding my feet in life at the minute, to be honest, and what path I'm going to go down. But look, I love it over here. I spent a shitload of time. It's a great lifestyle. So, obviously brought my partner back last year, which was good, and really enjoyed it. So, yeah, hopefully we can just come back a couple of times a year or once or twice a year and just figure it out, really.
Yeah. Yeah. This time of year, obviously, speaking about the structure of football, always nice to see England get a couple of victories over the Samoans. Some of the camps that we had, Gaz, were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Especially from when you first came into it. What I asked you about reflecting on time at the Dragons, but Jesus, we had some good times with England as well.
Yeah, it's the same thing with England. I think I've been able to process it a lot better now, and when I look back, honestly, some of the trips we've had are the best times of my life, along with my kids. So we've had some cracking times. The amount of stories we could tell could go on for days. But it is certainly something that I do miss, and when you see the boys playing, I just know how much of a good time and a good crack they're going to have and ripping for each other on and off the field. So, yeah, when they're playing, I always get a little bit of, geez, I wish I were there again, because them times when you go around tour with the lads, it's just incredible, and we have so much fun. So, like I said, we've got some stories from them tours.
We were talking about the last night when we had that beer about that mini army camp that Wayne gave us in Perth.
That was a stinker.
That was...
We thought we were going to just turn up, have a nice weekend in Perth, just chill out, a couple of beers before we start the tournament. Next minute, we're getting flogged by these fucking army dudes on the beach, and it were red hot as well. And it doesn't help when you're absolutely fucked and you got Wayne who's steaming past you.
How mad is that as an athlete in the peak of their powers, and then this 70-year-old just... Come on, man.
Yeah, but that's what we're good about, Wayne, 70-year-old, and you'd want to work for him. He's out there slogging it with you. He didn't have to do that, but he wants to set the tone for the trip, and he certainly did that. And I know we spoke about it many times. He's unbelievable. It's lucky he's still alive after the Tabasco, though.
Oh,
I heard you talk about it the other week, and I was crying at home. It still gives me sweats now thinking about it. It was unbelievable.
Where were you?
We were down.
No, but were you? Yeah. Did you rim any of the glasses?
Nah, that was you.
That was me. Come on.
No, I was in the room because we were getting massages. I remember, obviously, Sarge and that were there, and we were just sat on the table, and it gives me sweats. And obviously, I had his fucking spicy orange juice and nearly fucking collapsed. But it was funny, but you had to be there to sort of witness it. But they were the things we used to get up to. We just all used to have a good crack, and like I said, I miss it so much.
Were you there? Because I know some people say like, "Oh, this is bullshit." Like this couldn't have happened again. But were you there where he nearly choked on the wasabi at sushi?
Oh, was that that one in New Zealand? Was it?
It was. Yeah. It was. Yeah, it was in New Zealand. Like I think we'd all gone off. We was day off. We'd all.
Is
done
that the Great Britain tour?
Yeah. And everyone's like, "Oh, we've all done our different things." And then I remember getting into the team room and like. There was about 3 or 4 lads who were like, "Oh, Jabba, oh, you're not going to believe this." It's like, what? It's like, Bentos.
The thing was, he had a cough anyway, didn't he, all the time? And then when he'd had that, I thought, fuck.
He's gone, they've gone to a sushi restaurant. And again, allegedly, he's thought that this little bit of green thing was
the sushi place
guacamole.
It was next to the hotel, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I know it,
and he's tucked into it. And he's nearly croaked it again, but that, like you say, that cough, mate, that used to set. And the worst thing was, people knew it set me off.
Yeah.
So like, when we're doing a video and he'd be up there and he'd do that cough, and then someone would just look at you, and you just have to have your head down, just like no, just we can't do it, and He was so good though, and obviously Sean Wade's taken over now, and they've got a great thing happening. But yeah, those camps were just
The good thing is that I've been backing him for a couple of years. The boys, Jerry McGilvery, and the other lads have played who went on that tour. Gailey, we still speak about it now.
Yeah,
we've still got our group together on the phones, and like I said, we still speak about it now after games when we've played each other, and that was a good thing about that group we had. You know, we spent a lot of time together over probably a long period of time, and then obviously
it was like eight weeks that World Cup in 2017.
So yeah, you know, we've had a good time when we still catch up about it now, even the physios, Crowther and people like that. So yeah, it's I've processed it all a lot better now, but I do get the itch when the boys are playing at the end of the year.
Mate, I've still like got a bit of a connection to some of the players there. That's like, they've not totally, like, there's some players you go, I played with him.
Yeah.
Do you still get that little bit of connection to camp? You know, get a few FaceTime or a few missed FaceTime calls off one or two of the players that are still involved. Chris Hill springs to mind.
Yeah, every time. He, I don't know how he's still playing, the old boy. You know he must be 38 now.
Mate, you know he's signed to go again.
And it's Salford and he's signed for.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens when you got 12 kids.
Yeah.
You keep playing, you know. He was a good one, old chill man.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Before we finish up, obviously here back in Australia, taking care of business, but caught up with our friend of the show, Jeremy Latimore. Be rude for me not to bring him up. Our listeners do like a Jerry story. So how was he? You went out for a little catch up on the weekend just gone, didn't you?
Big Jerry was happy. Yeah, it's good to see Big Jerry. He's a character. He's like a little 18-year-old kid again. It's good to see. He did actually say he's going to call you out for his next boxing event.
Did he?
That's the latest going out there. So, no, he's good. I went and watched him box the other day. I reckon I'd beat him up.
In you saw him spar?
Yeah, down I can't remember the place, down in the Shire somewhere. But Big Jerry's Jerry. Yeah, we had a good time on the weekend, and yeah, like I said, he's high on life at the minute. He's a big fella, and but it's just good to see him. Yeah.
So you don't reckon he's got much? Because I went to his boxing match and I thought he actually did all right. But I'm not exactly, working for Ringside Magazine or anything anytime soon.
He's still whinging about his MCL though. Jerry, carry on, Jesus Christ! He was boxing around going, "Oh, my knee," and I were having a chuckle. No, to be honest, he I only seen the first 20 minutes. I thought, you know, how's he won a fight? Then he got in the ring and he actually looked the part. So it'd be nice if I could get back over for his fight next year. That'd be good. I think it's in April. I think he said.
Well, he's stinging for a fight, like absolutely stinging.
That's what I said. He said, "I'll call my mate Jammer out." I said, "You might have to take him on in the wrestling ring, though."
Yeah. Well, I can arrange that. Did you know him and Vaughan had beef when we were playing?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I'd seen Vaughan the other day down in Wollongong. He said, "Is that weak fucker going to call me out or what?" So he's ready to rock and roll.
Vaughan is ready to go back at Latty now.
Yeah. He wants it to happen.
Have you told Latty this?
No, not yet.
Well,
I've openly said it out here now. So Latty, you can't call him out.
That'll make him fume.
End of next year, apparently, Vaughan's come back to us next year. Said he wants a fight with Jerry, so he reckons he'd dish him up. Well, let's make it happen.
Let's make that happen, guys. That would be unbelievable. Maybe UV Dufty on the undercard.
Oh, I'd smash the little prawn. I'd love to fight him.
Would you?
Yeah.
Why?
He should just shut his ego down, innit? Nah, he's a good man, Duff.
Do you see him? Do you see much of Dufty in England?
I speak to a couple of lads. Obviously, those lads who were over there. I spoke to him yesterday, Duff. Obviously, I had to go back down the coast. But we keep in contact. He's just another one who we spent a shitload of time with. Obviously, he was a bit younger than us, and he's doing really well over there now. Been playing well, especially the last year. So, yeah, we keep in contact. We try to catch up when we can, but you know what it's like when they're full time. They're super busy, and obviously they live over on the other side of town. But yeah, no, it's good to see him doing good, the little prawn.
There's a fair few from that cluster of Dragons players. Jay Field as well, like absolutely killing it over there.
I was with a little field man yesterday. He's loving life. He's well, both of them, like you said, he's killing it, and especially Fielder. Obviously, I think he's just signed a new contract again to go around for another couple of years, and it's good to see. You know, both of them were probably struggling over in the NRL a little bit, in and out of teams, and probably losing a lot of confidence, and especially them two players.
Yeah,
they
need to play week in, week out.
Lock down a position and play week in, week out, and they're confidence players. And when they're on, they're dangerous. You can't stop them. So they've been great for both clubs, and obviously Wigan especially have had so much success.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll wrap it up. Great to see you, mate, and we'll catch up again soon.
Be seeing you.
Be seeing you indeed. Just as well, Gaz owes me a couple of rounds, and actually,
bought me coffee since you've been here, tight ass.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. That's a lie.
It's not a proper coffee with almond milk. Fuck me.
Right. Just quick. Actually, sorry, I know I said we're going to go, but right. I know in life things change. Right. Last night, went for some food at the pub. And you don't drink beers anymore. You're on the red wine. What? You're putting shit on me for being drinking almond milk.
Because you had 6 in about an hour.
Yeah, but what's with the no beer? Oh, it upsets my stomach.
LeBron James drinks red wine, so a glass before bed. And
why no beer? Why are you off the beer and on the wine?
A bit overweight, Jammer.
Well, not red wine's not going to fix that, is it?
No, I like a nice drop of red wine after we had a nice steak and mash.
But nice why not just a beer?
It makes me too full. So I just have a nice little red wine and go to bed. This is as simple as that.
All right, well, don't put shit on me for having like...
Not wrong with the red wine.
An almond milk flat white.
That's 10 times worse.
No, it's not. Red wine is way worse.
It's beautiful.
I'd rather be a almond milk and beer drinker.
Nah, I don't mind a couple beers, but it's a nice social couple beers and a red wine to put you to sleep. It's nice.
All right, okay. Well, you keep telling me.
I'll get you a bottle before I go back.
I've got. It struggled to break into the wine. Like, just I get it with a nice bit of steak, but I don't know. I'm not quite. My palate's not mature enough yet. Beer, whiskey, few seltzers every now and then. You know, that's where it's at. All right, guys. Right. Thanks for joining the show, mate, and we'll catch up soon.
Cheers, bud.